Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute little pendant. I've put a list in the description below of everything you'll need to make this, along with all the usual links. We've got Facebook, Instagram and my new website where I sell all my written tutorials. So head on over and check it out. To make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge, and I've got two lengths at 6 inches, which is 15 centimetres. You need 0.315mm weaving wire. You're going to need a bit, about less than 100 centimetres, and I've wound mine onto a bobbin. If you don't have a bobbin, don't worry, this is a Bobeeze bobbin by Beadsmith. It just stops the wire from flailing about while you're working. Today we're going to be using one of these little moons. I don't think I've done a video with one of these before. It's quite chunky and it's quite small. It's about 20mm long. It's a bit hard to measure the width, but that's the size of it. You can use a different size if you want to. Just add a couple of inches to your wires if your stone is a little bit bigger. So we've got a jump ring, 0.8mm outside measurement, and I think that's everything. We don't need much today. So tools, we've got pliers, round nose pliers and wire cutters. I don't put links to tools anymore, but I do put a list in the description below if you want to go and have a look. I'm using Tronex at the moment, and my basic pliers that I'm using are the tweezer nose ones. So we're going to start weaving 6 centimetres from the beginning of the wire. So 6 centimetres is 2 inches and 2, is that 2/8? I'm not very good with inches. So 6 centimetres from the beginning of the wire. So we're going to start with 3 wraps around the bottom wire. And then 3 wraps around both wires, and that's our repeat. And we're going to repeat that 12 times. So 3 wraps around the bottom wire, 3 wraps around both wires 12 times. So I've done 12 repeats. If you're using longer wires, because your stone is a little bit bigger, then just slide the weave to be central. You want the weave to be central across the wires. You don't need to do extra wires if your stone is bigger, because this is just the little bail loop for the top. So we're going to cut the wire off at both ends, and then we're going to flatten down those little sharp bits. So now we're going to put a bend in this weave. So bend it in the centre. And we're going to bend it right the way around into a loop. And just let the weaves cross over each other. I forgot to mention you have to keep pushing your weave together as you go to keep it nice and tidy. So you want a nice little loop there, big enough for your jump ring to go through for the top, and then the weave just carries on a little on both sides. And this is going to sit on the back of the stone at the top there. So I'm just going to actually turn this over so it sits a bit flatter on the back of the stone. And then we're going to separate the wires. So 2 come up and 2 go down. So that's what we've got so far. So we're going to bring these bottom wires right the way down. So now position it against your stone, and the loop needs to go over the top so we can fit the jump ring through. So position it so your loop's sticking out over the top, hold it in place the best you can, and take these two bottom wires over the bottom there and up the front of the stone. Now as you do it, it's going to move, so you need to keep checking that that is where you want it to be. There needs to be enough room to pop your jump ring through there, and then holding that in place, these two bottom wires there is going to keep moving around, need to bend up the front of the stone. So from the front we have this kind of thing going on. What we want to do is, it's probably best to keep the stone there actually if you can. We're going to part these wires so they come up under the stone there, and then they go out to the sides. This is going to be a fiddly one to hold. Right, I've got it. So then these need to scoop out a little bit to the sides, and I'm pushing them against the stone there. So you've got that shape with the bottom wires. While I'm holding it still, I'm going to move the top wires. So grab the top wire and bring that over the top. And it's going to keep trying to move. And bring this wire over the top as well. And just hold it the best you can. And bring both of those wires that come over the top have got to come down. The bottom wires come up, top wires come down. So we've kind of trapped it for now. It will keep moving about, but this is the next stage we want to be at, so we can attach those wires together. So now you need a little bit of weaving wire, just a little short length. We're going to wrap around one of the bottom wires. Slide that down, sort of centrally on the stone there. And we're going to go around both of the wires. So you have to post it through. And we need to go around a few times to secure that in place, so we'll go around 3 times. And then when you've done that, do 3 wraps around that bottom wire, so it's all nice and tight. Cut the weaving wire at both ends, and then take another piece of weaving wire and do the same for the other side, so we've joined on both sides. So 3 times around this wire, so I've turned it upside down. 3 times around, so you're wrapping around both the wires on the same side. So take the other bottom wire so it matches up. So now we joined on both sides. That stone does keep swinging about a bit. So get it all central. Try and position your stone as centrally as you can. And holding it firmly. I find this is the best way to hold it. So you're holding one finger around the back and up the weave, and then the other one's on the top, kind of pinching it down towards those wires. So get it as centrally as you can. And then take the bottom wire and bring it around again. So we just pull in the bottom wire around and over the back, so it kind of holds it a bit better in place at the back. It should hold it a bit better now. My weave has rolled off, slid up there. it'll all make sense in a moment. So again, making sure that the stone is as central on there as you can. We're going to take these top wires now. So I'm going to hold the weave down because it keeps moving. So we're going to bring the top wire up. And then we're going to bring this one up too. So we need to match the weaves up because that slid a little bit. And then we're going to let those weaves come really close together and then cross over each other. And I think I'm going to add a little bead to the middle of this shape in there. So I'd just like to share with you that I've just finished a written tutorial on this one, and a written tutorial is when you have lots and lots of pictures to follow along, so you can just take your time with this and do it all at your own pace. So this one currently has 75 pages and over 400 pictures, so it's really detailed, and I recommend it for like a late beginner intermediate, so someone with a little experience. But yeah, so that's available now on my new website, and I'll put a link in the description below. So check it out. So I've got a little tiny 2mm bead. If you don't have one, don't worry. If you want to add a bead, take another short length of weaving wire and thread your bead onto the wire. Actually, we'll attach the wire first. So we'll attach with 3 wraps around one of those wires. Now Gracie is snoring because it's very early and she hasn't actually got up out of bed yet. So she's allowed to snore on this one. So then pop the bead onto the wire. So I've wrapped 3 times around the one side, slid it down. And I just want it to sit there in the middle really. So you can go 3 wraps around this wire, or you can try and post it around the bottom there so it sits more centrally. Do you know what I mean? And then 3 times, so you go 3 times around this wire as well. So now I'm just going to cut the weaving wire at both ends. So now just stop and have a look at your wire shaping. You want to make sure that these weaves haven't slid away and they're where you want them to be. Then have a look at the positioning of the wires. Is it central? Is your bead central? And is that shape of the wires how you want it to be? And then when you're happy with that, we're going to bend these wires over to the back. And then we're going to take these wires simply around the woven loop at the back there. So you can either cut it short and bend it around with your pliers, or you can just take it around there while it's still a little bit longer and then cut it short. Try and hold the front shaping in place as you do. So I'm using my pliers to pull that wire around. So I've pulled the other wire around too. It's so hard to show you this because it's so tiny. And then we're going to take these wires over the sides again and just cut them so they finish at the back. And then just press that around with your pliers. So when you've done that and you've pressed it around, just make sure that these wraps are pressed right down, because you need to be able to fit the jump ring through there in a moment. So now you need to make sure that your stone is central, because so far and now it keeps sliding around, but this next part will stop that from moving. So make sure your stone is nice and central. So holding it so the stone is central. It's really hard to show you because the stone is so dark. So my stone is central now. We're going to then take the wire around one of the smaller points. So you need to press it in there so it grips the wire, and take it around and to the back and this side as well. Make sure it's central. We're going to bring it over. We want to go over towards the tip. You don't want a gap here, so you want to press that against the stone and then take the wire around to the back. So when you've captured the tips on the sides and you're happy with the shape, we're going to turn to the back and we're going to attach it to this wire here. So holding it, bring it up to there, and we're just going to wrap around that wire there. And then holding it on this side, hold it nice and tight, and then bring the wire up. So now we're going to take round nose pliers. See, I've got a little gap there. That's good, we need that little gap so we can pop the wire through. And using round nose pliers, and my wire is only just long enough, so I'm going to suggest that you start with a slightly longer length, just in case you need a little bit more wire here. We're just going to wrap around that wire on the back. As you do it, you want to keep looking at the front, keep readjusting that wire. It should pull tight now as we tighten this loop. And keep checking that your stone is central as you do it, and then do the other side too. So we've wrapped it around both sides. I haven't cut any length off, that's how my wires were just about the right length. And then I'm just going to squeeze this last bit, so I'm happy with the shape. Instead of keep pulling it around, I'm just going to squeeze it into place now with pliers. So once you've done it and it's tight and you've cut off any excess wire on those bits there, the back's ended up quite tidy, I'm quite happy with that. Have a look at the front and then just push these up a little bit, and that will make them really tight. Just a little bit. So we just need to add the jumping at the top now. Oh, how cute is that? And I'm just going to run and oxidise mine and I'll show you the finished piece. So I've oxidised mine and there we have it, finished. If you'd like to oxidise yours too, I did a short on oxidising and aftercare, and I'll put a link in the description below. There might even be a link on the screen, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now. Oh, and quickly before I go, please don't show images of the back or in progress images, as this gives away the design and people will just look at your pictures instead of visiting my videos. So thanks to everybody for sharing all my links and everything, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. So thanks for watching another one of my videos. Please subscribe and hit the notification icon if you want to be notified of new videos that I do. Please like and comment on this video and let me know what you thought. If you want to see my written tutorials, they're over on Etsy. You'll find the link below. There might even be a link on the screen, and I will see you all in the next video. This is Gracie, if you didn't know. See you in the next one. Bye.